around here. Oh, I've got one live viewer. Hi. Hello. I'm Nicole. This is Break for Moms. I was just about to check on my cell phone and make sure that I was actually live because I panic if I don't see viewers right away watching the show. So anyhow, I hope that you had a very Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas with your family. Today, I am going to talk on the show all about the post-holiday and post-Christmas letdown and how to handle that with your kids. So if you're joining me and you've got kids at home, this is a great opportunity for you to gain some resources on the show and to actually call in and talk to me and share your experiences with your family. And if you don't have kids, that's okay. If you're just new to Bidchat or you're a fellow broadcaster, go ahead and call in today. I would love to meet you and talk to you because that's what Bidchat and live streaming is all about, the interaction. And we're so lucky on Bidchat that we have the opportunity to do two-way live streaming because on Facebook and YouTube and the other live streaming platforms, you cannot interact live with callers. So that's the neat thing about this show and about Bidchat. So I hope that I will have some callers today. Know that you should call in from the Bidchat app because the website is not quite working with callers calling in. At least it was not working for me over the last couple of weeks. So if you have the Bidchat app and you are currently watching from the app, you need to make sure you have an account. And once you have an account, you should be able to call in for free today. At the bottom of this little video screen, there should be an area where it says bid or bid to join the show or join the show. I think it might just say join the show because it's free. Just click on that and it'll ask you 1 to 3 minutes. You can do 1 minute or 2 or 3. And I can extend your call for an extra minute and it is all free. If it's not free and you have Bitcoins, you can use those and I'll reimburse you. But I'm pretty sure, 99% sure that it's free today. So we've got 6 viewers so far right now. Welcome. This is the Break for Moms and I'm Nicole. I am broadcasting from the great state of Michigan, from the Detroit area, and it's actually kind of mild here today. We have a lot of snow on the ground, but it is going to be about 50 degrees today, so it's a little bit foggy and dreary out here. So if you are watching from a warmer state such as California, I'd love to have you call in and show me a glimpse of what it looks like outside because it's just a dreary time of year here in Michigan. But don't despair. We're going to talk today about how to manage the post-Christmas letdown with your kids. I know for families that do all the lights and the Christmas tree and the presents and all of those fancy things that go with celebrating the holidays. Sometimes after Christmas is over, like today, you feel a little bit depressed. Like, okay, we spent all this time doing all this stuff and now it's over. Maybe your kids are crying because they looked forward to presents and now they're looking at you like, is that it? It's all over? What do we do now? So we're going to talk about that. And I want to tell you a little bit about my experience with this book because last week we talked on the show together about it's Santa for real and how to handle the topic of Santa with your kids. A lot of parents, especially new parents, sometimes aren't sure how to handle it. We see Santa at the mall. You see the famous pictures of kids sitting on Santa's lap and they're crying because they're scared. And you wonder, how do I handle this? You know how you handled it as a kid, but maybe you want to do things differently. Well, this was a great book that someone recommended to me, actually a group of friends from my mom's group that I belong to, support group for moms. And I read it to my son last night. My husband was a little bit iffy about whether he or not he wanted me to tell my son the truth about Santa. But I felt like I was ready. I didn't want my son to think that I was lying to him. So the neat thing about this book is it talks about the actual historical facts about Nicholas, Saint Nicholas, as he was called. And he was a real man, and he did give gifts to the poor. So it's a great segue into telling your kids the truth, but in a manner that doesn't make you prove to be a liar because you're not lying. Saint Nicholas was a man. He was a living man, and that's documented in history. So this touches on that, but it also touches on the meaning of Christmas now for those that celebrate the Christmas Christian tradition. So This is a great book. And my son handled it really, really well. At first, he kind of looked at me and said, well, wait a minute, were you lying to me? And I said, well, we were having some fun, but we want you to know that St. Nicholas is real, but now he's in heaven. He's no longer living. But we can continue to celebrate Christmas and the spirit of giving in his honor. So next year, I told my son, you can help us with playing Santa and pretending to be Santa for your little sisters. And of course, Santa is a real person. He's just no longer living. And then, of course, he asked me, did you come down the chimney? I explained to him, no, we didn't go down the chimney. Dad was the one that ate the cookie that we left out for Santa. But he took it really, really well. And I was so happy that I had that book, Santa, Are You For Real? Because it really, really explained it in a way that kind of took the pressure off me and didn't make me look like a liar. So for parents that are worried, maybe if your kids just found out the truth, or maybe you want to tell them for next year, whatever the case may be, I just want to tell you, nobody's paying me to plug this book. It's just a really great book that friends of mine recommended, so I wanted to tell you about it. It really, really made me feel good after I read the book. And my son is 5, and he sat through the whole book. Most of the book is a story in the form of a poem, but it's done so nicely from the 70s, so the illustrations were a little bit older looking. But my son loved the book, and I really enjoyed reading it to him. So I hope that you will consider that book when the time comes to tell your kids the truth about Santa. And of course, this book sheds light on the truth in a way that gives historical facts, which is great. Okay, so moving on, let's talk about the post-Christmas letdown. So at our house, we still have our tree up, we still have our decorations up, but I did explain to my son last night, since he's the oldest, he's 5, that Christmas is over, and that's done until next year. My son wasn't very upset, and my other 2 kids are little, so they don't understand. But in the past, I felt kind of depressed when Christmas is over, because I spent all this time on the decorations, on getting the presents and whatnot. And, in my house, we celebrate the Christian tradition. So we talk about the birth of Jesus. And of course, it's not all about gifts and decorations. Spirit of giving is very important, time with family and friends. But there's still that letdown after. So how do we handle it? How do we handle it with our kids? I'm going to give you 3 tips. And these are not anything original, but they are tips that have helped me. The first is, of course, talking to your kids about the fact that, it's something that comes every year, and that the spirit of giving and friendship and time with family continues on for the whole year long. After that, talk about things that you have coming up. You get back on a schedule, because kids need to be on a schedule. And I don't know about you, but this past week, while my kids didn't have a full week of school, my son, my oldest, didn't have a full week of school. My younger 2 aren't in school yet. But in between that and my husband being home, created this kind of chaos in our house. A good chaos, but chaos, because we weren't on a schedule. So I think it's very important right away, as soon as Christmas is over, get your kids back on some kind of schedule. They're not in school. They're not back at school, most likely, but they still need some kind of schedule to keep organization. And I think it prevents meltdowns for younger children. Everybody needs to be on a schedule. I need to be on a schedule, and I'm an adult. So I think everybody needs to be on a schedule. Then get out your planner. Start looking ahead. Start talking about things that are coming up in the new year. There's so much to look forward to for everybody. And if you don't have anything that you're looking forward to in the new year, start making goals. Everybody can make goals, regardless of what situation you are in and what your family makeup is. Everybody can make goals for the new year. And I think once you have those goals written down on paper, you start to feel more positive about the days ahead. So, this year I feel like I have so many goals. I've been looking forward to the new year since the beginning of December. So I don't feel depressed today at all. And in the past, I have felt a little bit depressed. I like to listen to all the Christmas music on the radio. When that stops, I feel a little down normally. But I don't feel down at all today, because I'm looking ahead. I'm looking at my work goals, my career goals for the new year. I'm thinking ahead to all of the new experiences that I want to create for my kids in the new year. My middle child, my 3-year-old, is going to be starting preschool for the first time. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited for my son to go back to school and share his experiences with the holidays, because in the past, he was kind of too young to really elaborate on that. But now he can start really focusing on the memories that we've made, and hopefully he will remember these memories from this past Christmas for a lifetime. So that's exciting for my family, that my oldest is old enough to start really remembering things and looking back on traditions that we've created together. So goal setting, staying on a schedule, and focusing on gift giving and the spirit of, caring and spending time with family and friends throughout the rest of the year is really, really important. You can set those goals with your family for what do I want to teach my kids throughout this year? What are my most important goals for my children? I think caring and, investing time in the lives of others is really, really important. And speaking of investing in the lives of others, I have a really fun kind of story to tell you about an experience that I had this past week with one of my friends, Kara. If you happen to be watching, I'm going to talk a little bit and brag a little bit about you. But I am not a spontaneous person at all. I have to make plans, and if somebody wants me to do something on the spur of the moment, I sometimes look like a deer in headlights because I have a hard time with that. It's just how I am. I'm very type A. I don't know why. It's just I have a hard time with that. So my kids and I were over at my friend's house, and she's got a couple kids, and so our kids were playing, and we got there at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and 4 o'clock was rolling around, 5 o'clock was rolling around, and she was thinking about contacting her husband to see what time he was getting home, and I was thinking about calling my husband as well. Like most moms that are home all day with the kids, they're wondering, when is their husband going to be home? If you've got a husband at home with you, or a significant other that you're waiting on to come home and help relieve you from your time from the kids. But anyways, so, we were wrapping up our time together at her house, and I was thinking about getting my kids packed up and ready to go home for dinner time. We were talking about dinner plans and, the stress of thinking what to plan for dinner every night with kids, and doing that on your own if you don't have another adult at home helping you with the kids. And she looked at me and said, well, do you want to just stay for dinner? And I just went blank. Dinner? And I didn't know what to do because I'm not a spontaneous person. So naturally I thought, oh no, it's okay. We don't want to wear out our welcome. I don't want to inconvenience you. Oh no, your husband's coming home soon. Spend time with him. It's okay. We'll go. And she said again, no, do you want to just stay? The kids are being good. We talked about, what you're going to do for dinner. Just stay and I'll make dinner, and, you can just help me here, and then you won't have to worry about dinner. And I really probably sat frozen for what felt like a very long time, like a deer in headlights, because I just didn't know what to say. I am not the type of person that could just easily say, like, okay, we'll just stay for dinner. I felt like I was going to impose on her. And of course she said, no, it's okay. I'm going to call my husband. He likes you. He likes your family. Not a big deal. I love having company. So eventually I ended up saying yes. And we had the best time ever. And my husband came straight from work, and he came over, and I've never done anything like that. Not to say that I've never done anything spontaneous. I know it sounds silly just staying at someone's house for dinner, but I have a hard time with that. So I was kind of patting myself on the back that I was able to do that. And I love my friend Kara. I love her kids. My kids love her kids. They were playing really, really well. But it was just the idea that I have such a hard time being spontaneous. So we ended up having a great time, and I thought to myself, why do I not do this more often? And I don't know why. I'm just stuck in my ways, and I feel like I always have to have plans with people, and I don't even think to just spontaneously say to people, hey, you want to just stay longer? Or hey, do you want to just come over for dinner today at the last second? But it was great, and our kids played well, and our 5-year-old even started wrestling together, which we thought was so funny, and they were not being violent at all. They were just kids being kids, and it was great. It was a wonderful time, and it made me think about our lives in society, how we're so busy all the time that just the thought of just stopping everything and just like staying at somebody's house all day and staying for dinner is not something I normally do. And it was a blast. It was a great time. So anyways, I thought I would share that funny story because sometimes I know as moms, it's hard to just be spontaneous. We're so worried about getting dinner together, keeping our kids with a schedule, that we just don't sometimes do those things, like stay at a friend's house all day and just have dinner and, not worry, just let the kids run and play. We just let our kids run and play in the basement. And, you know, my kids fell asleep in the car. As soon as we got home, they went straight to bed. And it was okay. It was okay. So, I don't know. I just wanted to share that funny story. So if you're just joining me, welcome. This is The Break for Moms. I'm Nicole. And this is a show all about resources and parenting tips for moms, but also anyone that is a caretaker of young children. If you're a teacher, a nanny, doctor, pediatrician, whatever the case may be, if you work with children, then this is a great show for you. And of course, if you're a Bidchat broadcaster or you're just a random viewer that happened to discover Bidchat today and check out my show, welcome. You are free to call in. You don't have to be a mom to watch the show or to interact. It's just a fun show. And I'm so glad that you're joining me today. My show is every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time from 1 to 2 p.m. And we talk about a variety of topics. This whole month, I've talked about navigating the holidays with kids. And I'm wrapping up this series, if you want to call it a series, by talking about the post-Christmas letdown and what to do with your kids now that Christmas is over. I recognize that not everybody celebrates Christmas. So if you have different holiday traditions and you want to talk about those and how you handle the letdown from after those events are over, I'd love to hear from you as well. Hanukkah is around Christmas time, as well as Kwanzaa and Ramadan. So if you celebrate one of those holidays and you have a way that you handle that post-holiday letdown with your kids, feel free to call in. It's free to call in today. You need to use the Bidchat app. So if you are currently on a desktop or personal computer, know that if you try to call in, it may not work today, but I do know that if you call in from the app, the Bidchat app, and create an account, it's really easy. Just put in your email address and create a username that you can call in for free today. You don't have to worry about anything called Bitcoins if you have heard of those. All you have to do is click to join the show. There should be a button at the bottom. I don't even think it says bid. I think it just says join the show now or join. And you can just click on it right at the bottom of this screen below this video. Also, make sure that you are an official follower of the show so that next time I go live, you'll get a notification, especially if you are on the app. You can do that by clicking the heart at the bottom of my profile here at the bottom of this video, and it will turn red. And that's how you know that you are a follower. And I'll get a notification after the show so that I see that I have a new follower, and that's always very exciting for me. You can also give me instant feedback while you're watching the show. If you're feeling a little bit bashful and you aren't up to calling in, you can simply click the thumbs up icon. I see I've got 17 thumbs up right now. Or you can send me a message on Twitter, and I've got my phone here. So I'm going to turn it to Twitter right now. I'm going to go right on my app here. I'll show you what my Twitter account looks like so you can find the show on Twitter. Show you that just like that. Ooh. Yeah, I've got that little illustration at the top. And it says The Break for Moms in the clapboard, which is kind of cute. I found a fabulous graphic artist over the internet. Her group, her store, Etsy store, is called A Cup of Creativity. So if you search on the internet for A Cup of Creativity on Etsy or on Facebook, I think she's on Instagram as well, the gal that designed my illustrations and my logo for the show. She does some great work if you're looking for a graphic artist, and it's very cute and feminine stuff. So if you want something cute and feminine, check out A Cup of Creativity. Anyhow, so if you want to tweet to me, you can do that now. Like I said, I've got my Twitter account up here, and I'll get instant notifications. So keep that in mind. You can also send me an email directly, Nicole, Nicole, at thebreak4moms.com. Make sure you use the number 4. And also go ahead and subscribe to the show blog and newsletter. Go to www.thebreak4moms.com. Again, with the number 4. And you will get the archive videos from each week's show sent directly to your inbox. You can tell your friends and family that are interested in a show for moms and parents. And they can go ahead and subscribe as well, especially if they're not available at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, as I know many people are either working at that time or maybe they're working with their kids at home and they just aren't able to get to a computer or mobile device to watch the show on Bidchat. So that's an option as well. You don't have to watch it live. You can watch the archive broadcast. And please, please, please share them. Share them with your friends and family across social media. You can find The Break for Moms on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram. The show is also archived on YouTube, and I take those YouTube links and I put them directly onto the show blog, like I mentioned. So make sure you check out the show and my profile on social media. And I can't wait to hear from you. I really want to interact and meet other moms. If you're not a mom, but you're a parent or someone else that works with children, I would love to hear from you as well. I am a former music teacher, so I can appreciate those that are in the field of education as well. Or if you're a musician, interestingly, I have a background as a classically trained pianist and vocalist, so maybe sometime I'll do a quick kids piano lesson on the show. If you're interested in getting your kids into piano lessons, I can tell you all about that. I have a whole library of piano books at home for kids, and that is my forte, no pun intended. So I hope someday to incorporate that into the show here in the new year. So let's talk about goals, family goals. I talked a little bit about, encouraging your kids to continue with the spirit of giving and caring and spending time with family and friends, even though the New Year's approaching and Christmas time is over. We can still talk about those values all year long. So it's a great starting point from Christmas, and when Christmas ends, to continue that discussion and how we can care for other people, maybe volunteering if you have older kids, teenagers, going to a soup kitchen or doing some type of donations. A great way to make goals and get organized for the new year. To start with your own stuff, right? I cannot wait to get rid of stuff, not the new stuff from Christmas, but old stuff that my kids are no longer using and that I'm no longer using. Clothes, toys, books, you name it. I've got it, and I want to get organized. So I'm going to go through all of my stuff, and I'm going to encourage my kids to do this as well. And then I'm going to donate some stuff. And that is a great starting point for conversation with their kids about giving to those that are less fortunate. My son asked me one time, he said, "What are you doing with all that stuff in the box?" And I said, "I'm going to give it to someone else. Did you know that there are some people that can't afford a new coat or can't afford to buy shoes?" And he kind of looked at me like, "Wow, really?" There's people, and he was very interested in the conversation. So we need to have those conversations with our kids. Sometimes we don't think about it because we just assume that they already know. Even older kids, teenagers, need to have those conversations because, if that's not our life experience, we don't always think about it. We forget that there are others that are less fortunate. So this is a great time of year in the process of getting your house cleaned and organized to incorporate donating items, getting your kids involved, volunteering, whether it be a local shelter at your church or somewhere else, maybe at your children's school or through some type of service project. Whatever the case may be, now is a great time to make goals and set goals and do that as part of your Christmas cleanup and your organizing goals for the new year. So keep that in mind. We've got 54 viewers right now. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're just checking out the show for the first time, I'm Nicole. It is so nice to meet you. I hope that you will call in to the show sometime. If you're using the Bidchat app, it's free. All you have to do is create an account. Just put in your email address and create a username. And that's all you have to do. And then you just come to this show page, The Break for Moms with the number 4. And at the bottom, you'll see a button that says join the show, or it might say bid, depending on whether or not it's free today. But it should be free to call into the show today. So just find that button that says to join the show, click on it, and call in. It's okay. You don't have to be dressed up. You don't have to be fancy. You don't have to have makeup on. If you're, someone that's worried about the way you look, just call in. If you're a guy and you're watching and you think, oh, this is a show for women, I can't call in. No, call in. You can call in. I would love to hear from you. It's so much fun. If you're not sure what it looks like after the show, if I don't get any callers today, make sure you check out the moments section within the show profile. There's a full broadcast button, and then there's an area, there's a little tab that says moments. And moments are the moments between me and callers that call in. So it's not the full broadcast. It's just those moments within the broadcast where someone actually calls into the show and talks to me. So it kind of looks like a Skype call. I'm here, and then the other person is in the corner, and you see us both live, which is really, really cool. And it's different from all of the other live streaming platforms like Facebook and YouTube and some of the other websites and apps where you can do live streaming. So I hope that you will check it out. If you don't get a chance to see it during the show, please watch those moments and look at the archive videos from those moments, and you'll see some really fun moments with me and other callers, and me calling into other shows, because you can call into all of the other shows that are broadcasting on Bidchat. So keep that in mind. It's really, really fun. And once you do it, then I don't think you'll be so worried about how to do it, and you won't be so self-conscious, because it's just people talking to each other. This is very casual. I don't have a script. I have a few notes for what I want to talk about. And of course, I have our main topic for today, which is how to handle the post-Christmas letdown with your kids. But other than that, there's a lot of flexibility for people to call in and ask questions, or to give a plug for their own show. So if you're a broadcaster and you want to call in and talk about your show to my viewers, please do that. I would love to help out other broadcasters. Or if you have a business that you would like to promote to other moms or parents, feel free to call in to the show now, and I would love to hear from you. So it is 1:30. We are halfway done with the show, so there's plenty of time to call in. If you're just joining, I want to talk for a minute about what I talked about last week. I introduced this book called Santa, Are You For Real? I'm not going to talk about all the details because I've already talked about it a few times, but I want to tell you that it was a great segue for my son to find out the truth about Santa. And I'm going to tell you, okay, this is kind of a funny story. I'm rolling my eyes a little bit because I had a mom feel moment yesterday on Christmas. So I was talking to my mom. She called to wish me Merry Christmas. And then she asked about, how the morning went with the kids opening their gifts. And I said, yeah, would you believe I was up until 3 a.m. with my husband wrapping gifts and setting everything up for the kids. And my son heard. He heard the whole conversation, and I just wasn't thinking, because a lot of times I'm on the phone and my son's not paying any attention. He's running around the house or doing something else. He's a boy, and he's an active boy, so he usually isn't listening unless I ask him to listen. But he was listening, and he heard the whole conversation, and immediately he looked at me and said, Mom, you wrapped the gifts? And I went, oh, no. And very quickly, I think on my toes. I'm a live streamer, so I've got to think quickly. So very quickly, I looked at him and said, well, of course. I said, Santa just drops off the gifts. He doesn't wrap them. He was in a hurry. He had to drop off all kinds of other gifts to other kids. And it was very late at night. So Mom had to wrap them and set everything up. Santa does not open the box and set things up. Whew. That was a save, let me tell you. And he fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. But I knew that after this Christmas, it was time to tell him the truth. And that would be part of the segue, in addition to this book that I just mentioned. So anyhow, that was my little funny story from Christmas. So I want to hear about your funny stories or your special moments. My son got one big surprise gift that he definitely did not see coming, and I didn't see it coming either. My husband got it at the last second, and it is an air hockey table. I mean, he got it for a really good price, for $30. It was originally $150, I think. And got it at Kmart. If you're from the U.S. and you know about Kmart, you probably know that Kmart is not doing very well. We do not normally shop at Kmart. My husband said he walked into Kmart and he felt like it was a blast from the past, because it looked like something out of the 1980s, because they really have not revamped their stores since they were built in, I don't know when this Kmart was built, but it looked like it was from the 1980s. So naturally, we don't shop there, but because a lot of people don't shop there anymore because they're not doing so well, they can sometimes have some really good deals. So my husband got a great deal on an air hockey table. So if you're looking for a deal on a toy, you might want to check Kmart or maybe even Sears, because I know those two stores are not doing as well as some of the competition. So they sometimes have better deals because they're not moving as much product. So keep that in mind. In addition to organization and all of the other things that I mentioned earlier in the broadcast related to post-Christmas letdown, keep in mind the positives of getting some really great shopping deals after Christmas. Everything's on sale. So, take your kids out to the store if they need new clothes. Make that a positive experience. As you're getting rid of old stuff, then you can make room for new things. Or, if you've got things to take back, somehow spin it into a positive, because then maybe they can exchange things for something else that's on sale. Talk to them about money. It's a great time to talk about money when you're returning things to the store. That could be a great math lesson for kids as well. I know my kids are really starting to get interested in money and math. They have their own banks, and they like going through their bank and seeing how much money they have and touching the coins and counting them and organizing them and making shapes on the carpet with the coins. And, it's a silly thing, but they enjoy doing that. Sometimes it's the simple things with kids, and we can always incorporate lessons, even when we're going to the store and the hustle and bustle of returning maybe unwanted Christmas items. You can still make it a positive learning experience. So keep that in mind as well. And everything I'm telling you, I'm thinking in my head, okay, remember this when you go to the store later. Remember this, remember this. If you've got gift cards to spend, don't feel like it's a stress and you've got to rush to use them before you use them. Make it a fun experience. Incorporate the kids. Talk about money and math. And, again, like I mentioned earlier, the spirit of giving and, sharing with your kids as well. Okay, so thank you for the thumbs up. I see that I have some more thumbs up since I last looked at my thumbs up. I try not to stare at it all the time because, of course, you want me to look at you while I'm talking and I'm looking at my camera. If you are a broadcaster, I would love for you to call in, talk to me. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the equipment I'm using, because live streaming is all the rage, and I know that a lot of people are interested in learning about live streaming, even if they just want to do it for fun or for their own business. I know a lot of moms are starting their own businesses. I have moms selling leggings, books, health products, oils with health products, and so many other products. And live streaming is a great way to market what you are selling. So if you've got a business or you're thinking about starting a business, I just want to take 1 second to tell you about my equipment. So I have a Logitech Pro HD 1080p webcam. It is the 920, the C920, and it has a light on it and a speaker as well, but I don't use the speaker as my main audio. I want to see if I can pull it to show you, but I don't want to ruin the cord. Let's see if you can see it here. Oh, the cord is very tight. Here we go. Oh, I think I pulled it out. No, I didn't. I have this blue, Yeti blue, and I love this. Sorry, I got to make sure it's still plugged in. I'm scared that my sound is going to go out all of a sudden because I mess with cords. Don't want to mess with cords. So anyways, so I have the Yeti mic. If you don't want to spend a ton of money, you can get, oops, sorry, I got too far in the light now. Now it's too much in my face. The Yeti is, I think, like $125, I think I spent, or somewhere around there, between 100 and 125. You can also get the snow, I forget what it's called, snow mic, some type of snow mic. It's also by Blue, the same company. I got mine at Best Buy, but you can probably get a better deal on Amazon, or if you go to a local camera store that does price matching, sometimes you can shop around for a better price. And I also have, if I can move this over here, I have this little LED light on a stand. I'm trying to move it. I am going to kind of probably, there. If you can see it, just this little one right here, which I like to use, and I just kind of put it very, very close to my face. It's small, and that was like about $75. So I did invest some money. I also have one, sorry, I'm drawing a blank, one softbox light over here as well. And I made sure that I closed the shade right directly behind me. You don't want to have lights right behind you, because then your face turns dark. It's like the whole shadow effect, like the sun. If you take a picture and the sun is right behind you, you'll see a bright background and then your face will be completely dark. So you don't want to have the light behind you. You want it in front of you and on the sides. So even though I have my other window shade open, the one directly behind me, I do not have open. So anyways, I just thought I would share that because I have a feeling that there may be other broadcasters watching, and maybe you want to work on your video quality and your sound quality. So that's what I use. I just wanted to put that out there for those of you maybe interested in starting live streaming. It's great if you can invest in some good products, or if you just get a better webcam besides what you have on your desktop computer. I am live streaming from my desktop computer, not the Bidchat app, because it is better quality when you use a strong hardline Ethernet connection. So I have an Ethernet connection right now, which is why the quality is a little bit better, hopefully. I can't see it on your end, but I see it on my end, and it looks good. But the HD webcam, the Logitech C920, has a built-in speaker, and it has better lighting with it, just within the better quality cameras. So keep that in mind. You could just buy that one product, and you can really improve your broadcast. So just wanted to share that with you. Anyhow, we have 70 viewers right now. It is 1:38. We've got about 22 minutes left of the show. And I don't have any callers yet, so I'm kind of sad. So I'm going to encourage you again to call into the show. If you're just tuning in, I want to tell you a little bit more about this show in general and my goals for the new year with the show and how you can participate and follow the show across social media. Okay, so I was feeling lonely at home as a mom. I'm a stay-at-home mom. And I do a lot of other things on the side. I do some commercial work, and I was a former music teacher. So I am used to being in the spotlight. But I wanted to create a platform for other moms that don't have the opportunity to connect. Maybe they're feeling lonely, or maybe they work outside the home and they just don't get a chance to meet other moms and build friendships with them. So this show, The Break for Moms, was meant and is meant to be a digital platform for moms to connect, or parents in general. You don't have to be a mom. If you're a dad and you want to, watch the show and learn some tips and tricks for parents and maybe call in and just ask questions, you can do that as well. It's called Break for Moms because I'm a mom, and that was the first thing that came to my mind. But of course, any parent can watch the show, or anyone that is a caretaker of children. Most of the topics are geared towards children ages 0 to 18. So if you have older kids, you could call into the show as a seasoned mom or a seasoned parent and maybe give me some tips and the other viewers tips on your experiences as a more seasoned parent. And that is always welcome. I think it's great to have mentors who are a little bit more ahead of you in the life journey in terms of parenting and motherhood. And of course, I have many moms that are mentors. I belong to a moms group called Real Moms in my area. And that group has really just changed the way I do motherhood. And I don't do it alone anymore. I have friends that are moms, and I speak with them regularly. And I feel very supported and encouraged by them. And the mentor moms that are part of our group are just wonderful because they've already experienced many of the things that I'm currently going through. And they can encourage me and say, hey, I know it's hard being at home all day with 3 little ones, or, whatever your case may be. I know it's hard. I remember those days. And, here's what I did that helped me. Or, when the kids were having a rough day, here's what I did. Or, kids won't eat your dinner. This was one thing that worked with my family. So it's great to have mentors that are a step ahead of you. And don't feel like you're being judged by people. A lot of times as moms, we're very defensive and we don't want anybody to give us any advice. But I think sometimes we need to just let that go and let someone else share what they've done with their kids, because it might just help you. And so that's part of my goal in the new year, is to continue to just let other people mentor me and to not try to do things alone. And that's a big piece of the show, is not going it alone. It takes a village. I know that sounds cliche, but it really, really does. And as parents, we need to seek the help from others and the encouragement from others. It can be really, really lonely as a parent if you don't have any help out there. And many, many of my friends don't have parents in the area to help them, to give them a break when they need a break. So this show is called The Break for Moms because I want you to take an hour out of your daily routine to take a break with me to discuss topics that are trending in parenting and in motherhood, and also gain some tips and resources that I've come up with on my own, or that I have learned from others, and I want to share those on the show. I want you to call and give your feedback, ask questions, and share your own tips and resources, and encourage me as well. I hope to meet many other moms as I continue this broadcast throughout the new year, and build friendships from all over the world. That's the ultimate goal, is that there are moms and parents all over the world. And believe it or not, even though we may come from different family makeups and different cultures, there are so many things we experience that's the same. At the end of the day, all moms and all parents get tired. We all have kids that have not slept through the night. We've all struggled with kids that are sick, or, we've all had those wonderful moments where we've just looked at our kids in awe and said, wow, look how precious they are. Look how cute they are. Look how sweet they are. We've all shared photos of our kids. The list goes on and on. There's so many things that we have in common. We have more things in common than not. So, it's a great way to connect in our busy lives, because I know how busy I am, and I know how busy you must be as well, especially as the new year approaches. Let's find ways to take a break from all of that busyness and the rush and the hustle and bustle of driving kids to school, or being at home with younger ones and changing diapers and giving bottles. or nursing if you're a nursing mom and you have trouble, taking a break, taking time for yourself. Consider this your me time, your time to take a break, and your time to socialize with other people that are going through what you're going through, or mentors that can help you out if, I or others are ahead of you on the journey. And also, please invite anyone you know that is a mom to be or a parent to be, because I think this is a great show for them to just kind of start getting connected with other moms and other parents and, feel like they don't have to do it alone. Because as a new parent, I felt like I just didn't know what to do in so many different areas. And many of my friends had not yet had kids. And in my area, I didn't have a lot of other friends that were moms at the time when I first became a mom. So I felt really, really lonely. And I remember when I was going to Babies R Us to register for my baby shower, and I started to cry at the store because I just wanted help so badly. And I didn't have that help. I didn't know what to register for. I had a couple friends that kind of gave me some tips, but I just wanted so desperately to have someone at the store with me to just guide me the whole time and say, hey, this is what I did with my baby. Get this, or you might want to consider this, or, this is what worked for me and this is what did. There's so many baby items out there. It can get so overwhelming. I could do a whole show about that. I could live stream from Babies R Us and go through everything with you. But know that there's someone right here on the other side of the screen that's there to help you and support you. So if you are where I am in the journey with little ones, or maybe you're just a step ahead of me, but you have any questions or you just want to talk or just, vent, feel free to call into the show or reach out to me on social media. You can contact me at The Break for Moms on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Make sure you use the number 4 in the title, The Break for Moms. And you can also subscribe to my show newsletter and blog, where I post all of the archived videos and I give some show notes and just some updates on what's going on in my own life and, the future of the show moving forward, contests and other things coming up that you might be interested in getting a little bit of a heads up on. Just go to www.thebreakformoms.com, again with the number 4. And at the top, you'll see a bar where you can put in your email address to subscribe. And I promise you, you won't get more than one email a week from me, sometimes not even one if I'm a little bit behind, like this week. Sorry. If you are subscribed to the blog, know that I just posted the last 2 weeks' videos. The Christmas season really got me behind, but I am making it a goal to be timely for the new year. So that means by Tuesday of every week, I will have the shows archived on YouTube and up on the blog. I post everything on YouTube on Mondays right after the show. So the goal is around 3 p.m. Eastern time, but it takes a little while to download a 1-hour video to YouTube. So, if you give me until Monday evening, that would probably be better. I need to change my note on YouTube to say Monday nights new videos. But then as soon as they're there, then I go ahead and I put those links up on the blog, and I'll write a little bit about the resources that I talked about on the show, such as this book, which I need to put up again one more time on the blog, and I'll put the author. I get my used books. I save a ton of money on abebooks.com, abebooks.com. And, you don't have to spend full price on new books. I don't. I usually don't. And I got this book, which I could not find anywhere else, for $3.99, including shipping, $3.99. So that was a good deal because I looked on Amazon and I think they were selling it for over $20. And I didn't want to pay $20 for a book I had never seen in person. I didn't know what it was going to look like. I didn't know how it was going to go with my son when I read it to him. So I just didn't want to spend a lot of money. So I got it used and it was in great condition. Look at these pages. This is a used book I ordered online. All the pages are intact. It's very cute. The illustrations totally look like they're from the 70s because the book was written in the 70s. Anyhow, if you're wondering who wrote this book, it's called Santa, Are You For Real? It's written by Harold Myra, M-Y-R-A. And I chose the book because it's a great way to introduce your kids to the truth about Santa. But it doesn't make you look like a liar because it talks about the historical facts regarding St. Nicholas. Yes, Nicholas was a real living person. So great book. I would highly, highly recommend it. Anyhow, so I'm concluding the Navigating the Holidays series. We've talked a little bit today about how to recover from the post-Christmas letdown with your kids. We talked about goal setting for the new year and organizing your house, talking with your kids about service projects and caring for others and spending more time in the new year with family and friends as a segue from what you already did during the holidays. And as you clear out and organize your home and get rid of things, maybe consider donating items and getting your kids involved, having them go through their clothes or their toys if they're little, and deciding what they'd like to give away to someone else who's less fortunate. It's a great way to talk about those things while you're cleaning and you're goal setting for the new year. And of course, getting back on schedule, because kids of all ages, and moms and dads, parents included, need to be on a schedule. It's very, very important. Don't wait until the day before school starts to get back on schedule. Don't do that. It will be chaos all week while your kids are off of school in your house. So I'm getting my kids back on schedule starting tomorrow. They're not on schedule today because I'm live streaming right now, and my husband took my 2 oldest to the mall so that they would be out of the house. My baby, well, she's not really a baby. She's a toddler now, but she's almost 18 months. She's sleeping upstairs right now. So I've got 1 sleeping and 2 out of the house with my husband, which is great so that I can live stream, and it is perfectly quiet in my house right now. But know that it's not normally quiet because I have a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. It is normally very, very loud. And I don't like chaos. I don't like being off schedule. When my husband is off of work, it feels like chaos sometimes because we're not on a schedule, because I let daddy kind of play with the kids. Mom takes a bit of a breather. I like to read books and play the piano and scrapbook and do other things in my spare time, go shopping by myself and run errands. And that means we're not on our normal schedule. So anyhow, just want to share those few tips. We've got 90 viewers, which is awesome. Actually 89, almost 90. So hopefully one more person joins us. And 37 thumbs up. Thank you so much for all of you that have chosen to take a break from your daily routine, especially the day after Christmas, and spend it with me. I'm so flattered that you're doing that. And I hope that I give you some good tips for how to help with the post-Christmas letdown, or really, from any holiday letdown, whether it be Christmas or Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Ramadan, or holidays coming up, Easter, Valentine's Day, whatever the holiday is, when you're preparing and, you've got parties coming up and then it's over. Sometimes it gets a little bit depressing, and kids pick up on that too, especially with all of the gift giving and receiving. Then they feel kind of sad that there's no more presents to open. Birthdays can be like that as well. So you could use all these tips from today with birthdays as well. And of course, for birthdays with kids, it's not necessarily about organizing the house. You don't have decorations to put away except maybe a few decorations from the party. But, it's not the same as the holidays when you've got Christmas lights outside, or, you've got your tree up and other decorations and, tons of wrapping paper and things to take back to the store if you've got to return items or gift cards to spend. There's more hustle and bustle with the holidays. But with birthdays, you can encourage gift giving throughout the year and spending time with family and friends, just like you do during a celebration. You can extend that throughout the year. I think that's really important, as well as establishing traditions, not just at birthday time, but throughout the year. So keep that in mind. And if you've got any traditions or tips for me and my family for helping to survive the aftermath of the holidays, and getting back on track without feeling down that the holidays are over, please call into the show. Now you can do that. There are 8 minutes left. So you've got plenty of time. All you have to do is click down below here where it says join the show. It should be free. If it's not free, please let me know, because I have not live streamed in the last week. So I have not tried calling into another show since last week. But last week when I tried to call in, it was free when I called into another show. You just have to use the Bidchat app. If you are watching from a website on your desktop or your personal computer, such as a laptop, keep in mind that the best live streaming experience for you as a viewer will happen if you use Google Chrome or Firefox as your browser. And if you're not using one of those, you may be having some trouble watching today, or there may be a bit of a delay. Live streaming is so media rich, so it's important that you use one of those browsers if you're not using the Bidchat app. And you can download either of those for free. Just go to google.com/Chrome and you download it. It's completely safe. I did it as well, and I run Chrome off of my own computer. And you can also download Firefox for free. You have to go to Mozilla's website, Mozilla, www.mozilla.com. Firefox.com, and you can download Firefox for free there as well. And they have the latest edition, and it's completely safe and reliable. I have both of those browsers downloaded onto my computer to use. So keep that in mind for next week, and know that you can mark your calendar. I'm going to be live streaming every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, unless, of course, I have a conflict. But for the most part, I've been live streaming since September every Monday. I did take a little bit of a break during the month of November because there were some glitches with the website, and I wanted to get back on track and make sure I had the best live streaming experience possible for my viewers. All of you matter to me. I want to know who you are. I want to know about you, where you're watching from. I want to hear your story if you're a mom. I want to hear how many kids you have, or if you are a caregiver of children, I want to know, well, how do you work with children? In what capacity? Are you a teacher? Are you a nanny? Are you a babysitter? Are you a pediatrician? Or are you just another broadcaster that is checking out the show for today? Reach out to me. Through the Bidchat app, you can actually send me a private message on Bidchat directly. So all you have to do is be a follower of the show by clicking on the heart at the bottom of the screen now, and it will turn red. And then you can interact with me via the private messaging system. Or like I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, you can reach out to me on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook at The Break for Moms with the number 4. Don't forget, subscribe to the newsletter and blog for the show. Go to www.thebreak4moms.com with the number 4. Don't forget that. And share it with your family and friends. I have a very small goal for the new year, and I'm really hoping I can reach this goal. I was feeling a little bit discouraged because I don't have a lot of subscribers yet to the official Break for Moms blog. So when I get 100 subscribers, I am going to personally mail out to one lucky subscriber a show t-shirt. Isn't that so cute? It says The Break for Moms, and the clock, it's a clock, is pointing to the number 4, so you don't forget that the 4 is in the title. And I just love it. So cute. It has the Bidchat website with a direct link to the show on the back. And I've got these in a variety of sizes, one for anybody. So don't worry about what size you are. I will mail it out to one lucky subscriber, but I need to get 100 subscribers on the blog. So I'm going to tell you again, go right now after the show to www.thebreak4moms.com with the number 4. And at the top, in that little bar that says subscribe, to join and be a part of this fabulous group for moms, go ahead and do that. Put in your email address. That's all you need to do. You will not get an email from me more than once a week. And that will be just to let you know that the archived show video is up on the blog, and any information that I have about the show, resources, tips, anything I mentioned on the show, I will put those resources and tips within the blog post so that you have it right there in front of you in case you want to refer back to something that I mentioned on the show. All of the things that I express on the show are, a combination of my ideas and tips and tricks from other parents or things that I've read about. No one is paying me to endorse anything at this point. So I want you to keep that in mind. Although on the blog, I do have a spot where I am an affiliate of 2 products that I really, really love. One is called Becky Higgins Project Life, and it's a scrapbooking system that you're going to love. So if you see that at the bottom of the show website, www.thebreak4moms, I am an affiliate for that. But it is a system I use all the time. And in fact, today I'm going to be scrapbooking later today and putting Christmas photos together from Christmases past and organizing my photos as part of my goals for 2017. And I'm going to use the Project Life system. So I want you to use it too, because scrapbooking normally is thought of as something that's really hard and time consuming to do, and this is not. Go to BeckyHiggins.com, Higgins is how she spells her last name, or go to my blog. Check out the link. There's a direct link. You can copy that link in your browser and go directly to the website, and you can shop for products. And these products are so cute, and they're going to save you a ton of time, and you're going to feel so relieved that you did scrapbooking for your kids. Do it. Start now. You don't have to go backwards. Just start with your current photos, and then you can work backwards later, but it's a system you're going to love. So I talk about that. I've talked about that in the past on the show because I think it's just one of those resources I have to tell to every mom that I know. Also, there are some great specials going on for ABC Mouse. My kids love to play computer games, and especially games where they can learn. So when you are feeling like you need a break, you need to cook, or you need to clean, or you need to do something else in your house and take a break for yourself, and you want your kids to be busy, let them play with ABC Mouse. You can get a 30-day free trial, and there's no obligation to buy, or you can get 2 months for $5. That's a super deal. What's $5, right? So just go on my blog, and you'll find all that information there. And I'm going to post another one of my links for abcmouse.com. I needed to create a new post, but you'll see it on my website under contests. I believe under contests, where it talks about the free t-shirt and my goal of getting 100 subscribers. It says you can also support the show by purchasing ABC Mouse through my website by clicking on that affiliate link. So if your kids like computer games and you don't subscribe to ABC Mouse, consider that. There are hundreds and hundreds of games, and it would be a great way for you to have some time for yourself, because as moms and as parents, we all need to have me time. Okay, that's really important. I need to do it too. So I'm telling you, but I'm also secretly putting this in the back of my head that I need to do that as well. Okay, it's 1:59. I hate to stop now. I'm having so much fun talking to all of you, but I need to be respectful of the other shows that are on Bidchat, and they are going to be starting, some may be starting at 2:00 p.m. Eastern time, and I want to be respectful of their time. So there are so many great shows. Make sure you check them out on Bidchat, and make sure you join me next week right here, same time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. That's 10 a.m. if you're on the West Coast. Don't forget, subscribe to the blog. I want to give away a free t-shirt, but I need 100 subscribers. So go to www.thebreakformoms.com and reach out to me across social media at The Break for Moms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Send me a message. I'd love to hear from you. Just give me a shout out and say, hey, my name's so-and-so, and I'm from Toronto, or I'm from California, I'm from San Diego, or wherever you're from. I want to know who's watching me. I have 108 viewers right now, but I don't know who you are. You know who I am, but I don't know who you are. And that's not fair. I want to meet you. And I want to make some friends with other parents. That's why I'm doing this show. So reach out to me. I'm just a normal person like you, and I'd love to meet you. So I'll see you same time next week. In the meantime, I hope to connect with you on social media. Enjoy the rest of your week, and good luck getting organized. And I hope that you handle the post-Christmas letdown with your kids with ease. Keep in mind the tips I gave you, and feel free to share more of your own tips with me next week. I'm going to end this broadcast now. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.